Alright y'all, I was going to make a little film here and attempt to remove the magazine disconnect from this Buckmark. And I figured while I was doing it, I might as well make a video. Now, the reason why I want to take it out of there is because it's a pain, for one thing, not being able to pull the trigger after you remove the magazine, not being able to pull the trigger if the magazine's not in there. Plus, well, it didn't do it that time, but normally it impedes the magazine from coming out the way it should. Now, in order to get to it, this is a wraparound type grip. I actually should take off the entire grip. I'm going to try and get to it by just prying up this one side. But in any event, to get to it, you have to take the slide off, which means you have to take the sight here off. I'm going to try to keep from taking the barrel off, but you'll need the Allen wrench. So let's take the top here off. Like I say, it's a boring video, but for those of you that want to know how to do it, you know you have to go through it. Now there's a little lock washer that comes off with that on both the front and the back screw. The front screw is shorter than the back screw. And of course you would find that out once you took it out and tried to put it in the wrong hole. You'd see that it was wrong. But we're going to take it off. I have not ever done this. The purpose of the video is to show you if me and my shaky ass can do it. Anybody can do it. And if I can't do it, you'll never hear about it. Okay, this right here is the guide rod and the recoil spring. I'll turn the weapon around. In order to get to that, I'm going to have to pull the slide back some. Pull it back, and I'm just going to try and muscle the whole thing out. There it is. This is the recoil assembly. I don't know what they call it, but that's the part that I'm trying to get at. And hanging on the back of it, I knocked it off. Damn, the thing's got me. Jeez. Anyway, this has a little indentation here, and it just hangs on there. Okay, it's no biggie. We'll put all that back in when we get to that point. Now I want to take the slide off. There it is. Now, let's go in and take a look at the magazine disconnect. Now, a lot of these parts underneath this grip, they just lay there. How do I know this? I've watched other videos, but I didn't see one with a wraparound grip. Okay. I'm going to just try to take a peek under here to see what's going on. This wire, can you see that wire? That wire is your magazine disconnect. And I'm going to try and lift it up without disturbing too many pieces because it's a handicap just doing it, and if I disturb too many pieces, then I'll never get it all back in there. That piece, the magazine disconnect, should just lift out of there. And of course it's not. There it is. That is the magazine disconnect. Now, that piece there, it just lays down in there, and I'm just laying it back. Now what I want to do is reattach the grip. I'm trying to line my hold up. And screw her down. And I'm at a disadvantage because I have to steady my hand with the other hand and all that kind of crap. But the main purpose of showing this is if I can do it, you can do it. It's not wanting to go back down for some reason. Maybe it's just put down by force from this screw. And I hate making my videos too long. Well, it's not like there's a little rubber pin that's supposed to snap in there. Wow, that's really off. See how much it's off? But that is that's just where one of these pins on this grip is not lining up. But I want to go ahead and put this thing back together again with the grip as is. The firing pin came up. There. Now everything I show you is not, maybe not the book's way of doing it, but it's my way of doing it. I'm not saying it's right. And I don't advise you to do this. It's just something that I wanted to do. Now I'm going to put the recoil assembly back in there, and then I'll put the sights back on. The main, and I'm going to have to take this thing apart and find out what the problem is with that handle. It's just where some little tit's not fitting in the hole right. I don't want to bore you with that. My main thing is to see if the magazine disconnect works. Once I get it out of there, to see if I can fire the gun without the magazine in there. And if that happens, this will have been a success, and I can straighten the grip up later off camera. It'll look funky, and I realize it's a job not complete, but it will be complete when I get through with it. I'll just redo all this off camera, go back in there and get those That grip has little bumps that fit in the hole in the frame, and I'll get those lined up. But the main thing and the whole purpose of this video is to show you how to take the magazine disconnect out. And again, I'm not advocating you do it, because it is put in there as a safety issue, but I don't want it in there. Okay. That ain't working. Oh, the magazine release is not in the spring. Alright, see how the magazine release flops? There's a little spring that lays behind there. It just lays in there. It's not really a spring, it's a plate. It just lays there, and it keeps tension, and it's not working because it came out of its little groove that it sits in. So I'm gonna cut the camera off and fix that. Alright y'all, I'm back. There is a little flat spring, or it actually looks like a little plate that lays. It just lays right here to keep tension on your magazine release. See how it's popping out over here, and you shove it in and it pops back out? That's the only thing it does. And it was not in its proper place. You see that works now, and it works better. Okay. And in addition, the magazine's not in there. The gun has been cleared. Now I can fire it without the magazine being in there. And I wish I could have done a little bit better job of showing you how to do that, but now it's not locking back. I don't know if that's normal or if I've got a spring in there wrong. I really don't know. But if I find out, I'll certainly let y'all know. This should lock back, and for some reason it's not doing it. Of course it'll lock back. There. This wasn't quite in place. But that's the things that you go through. Trial and error. Okay? When I took this handle off to see what the problem was, I didn't have the slide release back down the way it's supposed to be. But that's the thing, little problems that you run into. Everything else works. Safety works. Now the whole thing works the way it should. Slide locks back. Okay, I can take the magazine out and it'll fire. Shitty little video, but those are things that you run into, and you might as well see it while you're watching me as to get in there and do it by yourself. But that's the part that I was after, the magazine disconnect. And there it is. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Appreciate you watching.